Hello, hello, hello. JoeHart here. I live in Vermont, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I'm not sure how many of y'all have been following me over the past few years of being on Twitter and Meerkat and Periscope. But I've live streamed a lot, and the 5 things I generally stream. I'm sorry this is an intro, but I guess I'm waiting for people to show up. Hello to the one person. Hello to all. William. Yeah, hello to all. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Like I said, I'm a person with disabilities. I have invisible disabilities. Those I don't usually mention my disabilities. I don't hide them. I just don't think they're pertinent, or I'm kind of private about them. But that's not really the reason. Hello, 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 everybody. I would like to start off by first saying thank you very much for watching this live. I really appreciate you coming. I would love to get comments. That helps me stay focused and on topic and things like that. And also, thank you for the people that watch the recording. I'm kind of mostly or only a live streamer. I'm adapting. I'm trying to learn different ways, but I have yet to figure out how to edit, and I talk too much. So I know my videos are too long. Hopefully I can figure that out. I think because of my OCD and perfectionism, I think it would take forever to edit a video. I wouldn't be able to line it up, and then I'd decide, I'd be like, no, I want that in. No, I want that out. I don't know what I would want out. But I mean, if I said or if I got onto a tangent that wasn't related, I guess I could figure. But it just seems way too overwhelming to me. If anybody has any suggestions for editing, or if they want to do it, that'd be great. Anyway, I talk too much, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The 5 things, and I'm just, this is I guess people want to hear about the Idaho thing, but first of all, the first thing to say about the Idaho situation, and I know a lot of people don't like this, but I want to send out my thoughts and prayers for the families and the loved ones and the friends of those 4 victims. This is a horrible situation. It's been 17 days. They have I don't think they have any leads. But yeah, they may be keeping everything close to the vest, and they know a lot more than we think they know. And they have a suspect, but they're just gathering the evidence before they arrest them. And, whatever. 17 days is a long time. I mean, the first 3, and I don't mean to rag on them, but I mean to rag on them. But, the first 3 press conferences, all they did was like, hey, chill out. We need time. Don't rag on us. Don't stress us out. And, we're doing the best we can. And this is how many people we have. And they thank everybody. Oh, thank you for the $1 million. And thank you for the state of the Idaho State Police. And that's all well and good. But you're there to do a job. You're not there to ask everyone to back off from you and don't put pressure on you. That's their job. I know media gets a bad rap, but some media are real media people. And that's their job, to put pressure on you and ask you what you are doing. So anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to get any comments or anything. I'd love to get some comments. I guess I've never, oh, golly, that's turned off. My devices are slowly dying, for various things, the charger and the things breaking and, all that stuff. But, There. But, all that stuff. There. So, okay, I wanted to at least look at it. I like to look at my stream to see if the audio's working and things like that. If the audio's working and things like that. If the audio's working and things like that. I'm going to see how much the delay is. I'm going to see how much the delay is. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. Okay, 4 seconds. Sounds good. Okay. Sorry. 4 seconds. Sounds good. Okay, sorry. 4 seconds. I'll turn that down. So yeah, I like to watch what I'm doing, and I usually forget to share and do all that stuff. But anyway, thank you for the thumbs up. Who did that? Thank you so much. If you have a question, do you have a question? Anyway, yeah, I think it's too bad. I mean, if we do talk about the city of Moscow Police Department in Idaho, maybe we should start there. I mean, I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame. They're incompetent. And I know I'm a little, Dave travels in time. Hello, Joe. Hello, Dave. How are you, man? I tried to, I looked for your stream, and then I think I clicked into your stream like 3 seconds before you logged off. So I'm still learning. And I say this a lot. If I learned some system perfectly and did it for 5 months, every day for 5 months, and I learned it perfectly, if I didn't do it for a week or a month or whatever, I would forget everything. So anyway, I haven't done that with YouTube. So I just don't understand YouTube. So I don't know when something is live and when it's recorded and when they left, and when you do searches, sorry, when you do searches for live streams, once a streamer goes dead, once a streamer stops their stream, it still shows live for, I don't know how long, a minute or something. So that's a little confusing. But anyway, so yeah, Dave, I don't know if you have any questions about, I mean, not everybody is following the Iowa 4 or research it as intensely as I have. Here, I'm going to put this in my mouth for a while. Sorry, I don't like to have things in my mouth, but I have I got to clear my throat somehow. So, anyway, I do think Moscow Police Department is incompetent. I think they're not very good at what they don't have the experience. I think very few cities in this world have that experience. LA and New York, they have, whatever it is, 1,000 murders every year, but I don't think many people have the experience for this. So I think that's part of the problem. But my big deal, I wish 2 things. I don't know which one's more important, but I wished, sounds terrible. What happened? Oh, it's horrible, Dave. Yeah, maybe I'll give a summary. That's what I'll do. Anyway, let me mention this real quick. The 2 things I'd like to happen in the press conferences, I would like for the FBI to talk at all. They don't even talk. And they have these Barney Fifes talking. The second is, I wish they'd be the lead agency. Now, they may be the lead agency in the background, but they just put Moscow Police Department up as front because whatever reason. But yeah, I don't, and I don't have a ton of faith in FBI, but I think they'll do better than Moscow Police Department. Anyway, to summarize, 17 nights ago, it was a Saturday night, early Sunday morning. 4 college students were stabbed to death in their rooms. It was at the University of Idaho. They lived in off-campus housing. It was a 3-floor house or apartment, or, you know, it's called a house, but 3 floors. There's 2 bedrooms on each floor. The first floor had 2 bedrooms. We're not getting, you know, we have to do a lot of speculation because they're not releasing a lot of information. But it sounds like the 2 women on the first floor locked their door and they remained, they're surviving or unharmed or however you want. I want to say surviving. I know some people have issues with that, but it was an attack. So they did survive. But they were unharmed. We think they locked their door and they never heard. Then there's 2 bedrooms on the second floor. One of those weren't filled because they don't have a roommate yet. The other had Xana X. She lived there and she had her boyfriend over, Ethan, and they're in the same bed. And then the third floor was the 2 blonde Barbies that most of the pictures are showing. You know, Kaylee K and Maddie M. And what it sounds like, you know, we're getting bits and pieces from people, and I mostly believe everything the families are saying, but you know, they always want to paint a good picture for their deceased loved ones. But it sounds like Maddie had moved out of the apartment, went back home briefly, and she was going to graduate in December, and she had already gotten a job for January in Austin. And she bought a brand new, you know, really nice car, a Range Rover. New to her, but not a new Range Rover. And the family swears it's all her money. She's 21. Oh yeah, 2 of them are 21, 2 of them are 20. So it's horrible. Sorry about that squeak. Mm-hmm. So it's been 17 days. Oh, so anyway, they went in and, you know, okay. So Kaylee had gone home briefly, but she moved out. And then she came back to show off her car. And she came back like a day before she was killed. And she was going to leave a day or 2 after she was killed. So, I mean, it's horrible that she was there for such a small window. But it's horrible for all of them. I mean, it's a horrible thing. She probably didn't have a bedroom, so she probably didn't have furniture in the bedroom, and she loves this other woman. I mean, you know, they're really close friends. Yep, sounds horrible. Oh, it's horrible. It is. So last night there was a vigil, and one of the fathers confirmed that the 2 women died in the same bedroom and they died in the same bed. Probably wasn't information that the LE, you know, the law enforcement probably didn't want to release that information, but Dad did. I mean, you usually have to keep back a lot of details so that when they get the real killer will know the details instead of being a copycat, you know, someone, you know, admitting to doing it, that they didn't do it, and just being a copycat by knowing the details from the media. So it is smart to keep some, but I think they're keeping way too much information back, mainly for the safety of the students. You know, it was right before their Thanksgiving break, so they all went, you know, they all was scared. That was on a Sunday. And, you know, I think classes ended Tuesday or Wednesday, but, you know, the school said you can leave immediately. We'll excuse everybody from anything. Just take care of your students, do whatever you want. If you don't want to come back to campus, you can do online learning, stuff like that. So school started back on Monday. What's today? Thursday. So it started back 3 days ago. And it's supposedly a ghost town. Not many people are back. And it's mostly, you know, oh, golly, this is so upsetting and overwhelming. And I'm doing too much research and I'm not sleeping enough and I'm on YouTube Live too much. Not that, I mean, I'm watching YouTube Live way too much. I'm not streaming enough, but I'm spreading everything out. Oh, by the way, Dave, if you can let me know how you found my live stream. I'm guessing you follow me and it sent you a notice, but I don't know. And I tried to schedule it so that I think they send out notices when you schedule it. And then I also shared it with Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and stuff. So yeah, let me know how you heard of my stream. I'm just learning. Found it on YouTube, got a notice. Oh, cool. You got a notice. Yippee. Thank you. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's probably because you subscribed or whatever the word is, a follower or yeah, thank you very much. Thanks. So anyway, so yeah, I don't know how much this is going to grow and stuff, but and it'll be, I did Twitter and I got, 600 views, and I just did TikTok. I'm just, I just did my first TikTok about this. I was doing TikTok a lot, and then the motorsports season ended, and so I stopped doing it so much, and I want to get back into it, but definitely for this. And every platform has their advantages and disadvantages, but I like the interaction. I like to hear questions, and I like to hear stuff. So and I don't expect everyone to be informed enough to ask questions. They can ask, hey, what happened? They can ask. I don't care. Just some interaction I like. So anyway, so yeah, I think 17 days is a lot. 17. Oh, and also, the YouTube takes away subs if you don't stream a lot, I heard. Oh, really? YouTube takes away subs if you don't stream a lot, I heard. Well, it's funny. I thought I was under the impression that I needed 1,000 subscribers. So I was like, oh, I'll never make that. How do I do that? And then they're like, I guess I would do various research, but it appeared like I'm doing right now. It appeared that on a laptop, you can do a live stream with, 0 subs, or I have 9 or 15 subs. And it's when you're on a device, when you're on an iPhone and an iPad, you need 1,000 subs to go live or something. Anyway, there's this, I'm doing a lot of live YouTubes. I'm watching them, and there's this one that says, oh, how do you get to 1,000 followers, quickly, 1,000 subs quickly? And I was like, how do I get? And so someone that I subbed to 20 on James' stream, lost 15. Wow. Holy moly. Yeah. So this, golly, that's a bummer. That's strange. And I'm sure there's glitches and stuff. I'm sure things happen by mistake, but not 5 of them. Not from 20 to 15. I mean, that's way too many. There might have been a glitch in 1 or 2, maybe, but I don't know. I'm just guessing. So he would, there'd be 25 people in his stream, and he'd shout everybody out, and then he would send our link there, and then you're supposed to click on the link, and the 25 people follow each other, and he would just do it. He would just keep doing it. So anyway, I went from 9. The first day I didn't really notice. I thought I went from a 9 to 11. And then I went the next day and I was back at 9. And I was like, wow, that's weird. And I was like, well, they're probably just being nice. They're following you. And then later they'll go, fuck, I don't know him. Sorry about the cuss word. I don't know him. I don't want to get I don't know his materials, but I don't want, And so the next day I went from 9 to 15, and I'm like, whoa, 6 of them in 10 minutes, it was a bunch. And then, I think I don't know what it is at now. There's YouTube. No, I'm sorry. What I'm having troubles with is all of my devices are on their last leg. They have Band-Aids. They're being held together. They're not charging correctly. So that's the thing with me. I normally have a lot of devices, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that I'm like, okay, let me check Twitter. And I'd pick up a device, and, my iPhone is being charged, and it's not what it used to be. The iPhone, I broke the iPad, I broke it, and it's, the screen was cracked probably a month ago. And since then, about every other day, more of it has cracked. More of it has cracked. I'm like, shit. And I thought I bought that insurance, but I can't find the insurance. And anyway, that's so I don't want to rag about YouTube, but it doesn't seem, for me, it's not intuitive, it's not easy, it's not, and that's me. I mean, I don't want to rag about YouTube, but I think it sucks. So on TikTok and Twitter, I know exactly how many followers I have before I go live, but this is like, and I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if I have 10, 15, 20, 200, 900, it really doesn't matter what the number is. Anyway, this guy, oh yeah. So anyway, there was one guy on the stream that was almost to 1,000. He had like 992. So the guy was like, follow him. Not all of you all have followed him. You must, come on, guys, I do you favors, do me favors. And he's really hard to understand him talking. He's from Kentucky or something. And I'm originally from Kentucky, but I can understand about half of his words. And it's like he has 10 marbles in his mouth. But anyway, he's saying, follow him. And it, 998, 999, 1,000. And before it got there, I was like, hey, so does this happen instantly? I said, when you get 1,000 subscribers, can you immediately? He has a deep voice. I get lost in them. But so I said, can you go live instantly as soon as you hit 1,000 followers? And he noticed the comment, and a couple other people noticed the comment. So people are writing, they're like, you don't need 1,000 subscribers. You can go live with 50. And he kind of said something like that too. He said, you can go live with 50. And he went, actually, and his wife or girlfriend or, significant other was talking in the background. And she said, you could go live with 0 subscribers. And I'm like, holy moly. And, impulsive me wanted to go, okay, see you, bye. I don't need anything here. I only want 1,000 subscribers so I can go live. Now, I guess I'm live now. I have done live sporadically. I'm still learning a whole bunch of stuff. I use too many hashtags. I use too many handles. I'm a mess. I wish I had an agent. I wish I had a manager. I wish I had I think I would be phenomenal at so many things that I try to do in my life, but I'm disabled. I'm just all over the place. I think I'd be a fantastic media person for motorsports, NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, Formula E, but I try, and I've done a lot in the last 10 years, but it's inconsistent. And anyway, same, I covered politics for 2020. It was a phenomenal story. I could go on forever about it, but it was a phenomenal story. I was on the road. 2020 was everybody's worst year, supposedly, because of COVID. I was on the road for 235 days. I slept in my car. I ate food stamps, and I went to 31 states, and I interviewed hundreds of people. I could see you being good as a motorsports host. Yeah, thank you, Dave. I think I would be too. Now, I do think I think I'm a little too intense and a little too high strung, and I yell and and that. But I'm knowledgeable, and I like to listen, and I like to ask good questions. I try to ask informed decisions. So yeah, I think I'd be really good. And I have over the 12 years, I've interviewed everybody. I interviewed Jeff Gordon. I interviewed Tony Stewart. I interviewed Donald, Joe Biden, and I've interviewed everybody. So I have no filters. I'll approach anybody. I just so it's been good. But so anyway, thank you, Dave. That's a very nice thing to say. And I'm trying. There's been a media company that has said they would try to get me a credential as if I'm one of their assistants. And I would be associated with them because I'm by myself. I'm disabled. I don't work. And I want to live stream. If you want to get a media credential, do not mention the word live stream. Everybody hates that. The television station wants to make all the money. So they don't want you showing anything. You can't show the track. You can't show the race. You can't show the car. You can show the driver, but outside of the car, in the garage, away from, you can't do it in the car. So I keep telling them, give me a freaking credential, and then you can hold rules over my head. But if I don't have a credential, I'm going to show whatever I want. And they find me, when when I'm at now, I've been to about 100 and I've been to about 145, 150 motorsports events. Most of them are NASCAR, but they're all of them. Formula One, Formula E, they're all. And I'm usually in the garage. Recently, I can say I'm usually in media, but sometimes, like I said, I'm credentialed and sometimes I'm not credentialed. I do the same thing, whether I'm credentialed or not. I'm covering it from a media point of view. And I do that with that. That's what I do. I'm covering this. Well, okay. I'm sorry. For this Idaho 4, I am just making that transition. I think for the Idaho 4, I was mostly a viewer. I wanted to take in what other live streams were saying. One of the better streams I like to see is allegedly with Brittany. She's great. And she was going to go a couple hours ago. And then anyway, I think she goes at 3. I think she goes in 46 minutes. And I'll probably go see her. So anyway, it's boy. So yeah, for Idaho 4, there's since they're not releasing anything, and I'm a true believer. I'm a true believer that any police entity involved does not owe any other entity any information. They don't owe us anything, especially media. I think they owe enough to help the students be safe and feel safe in their town. I do think they have to release that much money, that much information. But no, they don't owe us anything. They don't have to tell us anything. I think media people that go, if God, I'd love to be in Moscow, Idaho right now. But I mean, I think part of media is you build a relationship and you build trust, and you can say things like, can this be on the record? Can this be off the record? Can this be, I think that's what you do is you build, and then it's kind of a leak, or whatever. You get more information. So anyway, again, not sensationalistic leaks like the mail. What's the public mail? What's that called? The Daily Mail. I think it's called the Daily Mail. I think that doesn't sound right. But anyway, the sensationalistic newspaper from the UK, from the United Kingdom, from England, from Great Britain. I think they're very sensationalistic, and it's like the National Enquirer of 25 years ago, or I think National Enquirer still exists, but TMZ. It's just you take it with a grain of salt. It might be true. You can probably try to decipher what's true and not true. But anyway, it appears by all accounts they're getting incredible access at this Idaho situation, and they're getting incredible information a day earlier, 2 days earlier, 3 days earlier. It seems like they're a real inside connection. And I don't know what's going. Someone was I get a lot of haters. I just laugh it off. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Shoo. I do pretty well with haters, although I think therefore I don't grow a bunch because I shut down bullies. And I mean, like on Twitter, I don't block hardly anybody, and I don't ban hardly anyone. But I usually confront, and if they're persistent, then I'll ban them from that stream. I just kick them out of the stream. I don't block anyone. Yeah, I just kind of move on. But I don't know where. I'm sorry, Dave. I don't know what I said. Sadako 24 did a video. Why channel is a failure? Sadako 24 did a video. My channel is a failure. I assume he means Sadako's channel is a failure. I hope he's not saying your channel is a failure. But yeah, I mean, there's endless topics to do these YouTubes on, and for people like me, and I'm, a lot of these gossipy, He said yours was too? You know what I would say to him? It's right in between all those fingers. That's what I would say to him if he said yours was too. See it? See in the middle? That's what I'd tell him. So yeah, anyway, I hope he's your friend, or he's got the permission to say stuff like that. Anyway, I don't, that's your situation. So anyway, and yeah, like shooting the finger at him, that's your situation. So I'm sorry. But so anyway, I'm impulsive, so I get off topic. So it's hard to, you see the thumbnail, or whatever the description of what the live is, and then you click into it and you're like, wow, you're not even talking about what your thumbnail says. But I see that a lot, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's just a given that you go in and so I wish life was perfect. I wish I could do one topic, do it in 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, stop the video, and then possibly do that again, and possibly be able to import all the viewers. That's the thing. People don't want to stop a stream because you lose viewers, and they have to come back to your next one. But again, I don't have huge numbers. I'm not going to say that, it grows till 10,000 people. Again, except for Twitter. I mean, 600 views is pretty cool. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. And it's not, I'm not touting my horn or anything. But anyway, okay, so Daily Mail seems to have some really serious inside information. Now, again, even with, they say stuff and I go, holy moly. And my first thought is they're lying. But it just seems like they have Daily Mail is UK. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. It is. Now I think I think a lot of things like I think most things are probably like the AP. What are we called? AP and Reuters. I think so many things are national and international just cuz. They can work for the Daily Mail, but they may never go over to Europe for their whole life. They might be in the United States for the entire life, and they work for the Daily Mail because just things are international. But I mean, these are interviews. The Daily Mail is at the location. I don't know how many people. I don't know. I try, there's just too much information on this situation that I have to skim, and I don't like skimming. I like to read everything. And so I don't look at the bylines of who wrote the stuff, but I'm sure it's the same 3 or 4 people. They are there and they are getting inside scoops. Again, like Shanquella, there was the first arrest warrant, and then people said that Dejane was this one guy that kept he said his name about the streamer mentioned the suspect that had a arrest warrant. He mentioned her first name probably once every 20 seconds. And he said it incorrectly every time. And he said it differently every time. And he was aggressive and assertive and funny. And he said, I'm just not going to give her the respect. She doesn't deserve to have me say it the right way. And it was the funniest thing in the world. I know I don't usually like to laugh at things that aren't really funny, but anyway, that was pretty funny. So, but yeah, something about her. Oh yeah. So, one media location broke that, Dejane, not Robinson, whatever her name is. I know I got it somewhere. Was finally arrested. And then you go, well, I want to get that verified by a second. I like to verify things at least by a second source, but a lot of times 3 sources. I mean, when she gets arrested, there's going to be 25 sightings of it. Everybody's going to have their camera. Everybody's going to be selling their videotape to it. I mean, it's going to be all over the place. So, 30 minutes went by, 2 hours went by, 4 hours went by. No one else reported this. And I'm like, come on. Good to get verified sources. Yeah. So it was, Politi. I'm sorry. I don't, if I'm not staring at something, I don't remember it, but something PwD MX for Mexico. It was in Mexico, which is, that's where we want the source from, because they're the ones doing the case. So we do want to hear from Mexico. America doesn't know what's going on down there. So we do want it. But finally this morning, and I don't know, it was a recorded YouTube, and it tells you when it was recorded, but I think it was 2 hours prior. So I think, at 7 this morning, I think CBS News was finally reporting very, very similar stuff. And I'm like, that took 3 effing days. I know the first report was false. I know it was. It just, they reported it, and then about 5 streamers all went live, and they're all, they're all African American, and they're very connected to the event. And I'm sorry to mention their race, but it was, they were excited. So they got it out there, and I'm like, yeah, that's not true. And I'm anxious. I want them to put out a second arrest warrant, and I want them to put out 6 arrest warrants, and I want all of the Cobalt 6. Sorry, this isn't about Iowa, but I want all 6 of the Cobalt 6 to be deported or extradited from the United States to Mexico. All 6 back to Mexico to be tried in this case. No doubt I want that. And I'm extreme. The first woman is being charged with femicide, which is homicide. And I'm going to butcher this, but going live in 20 minutes for a Wheel of Fortune card game stream. Cool, man. Sweet. Well, good luck with that. Thanks for, coming by. I mean, you don't have to leave yet, but yeah, that's cool. Good luck with that. And I don't know if you can, I wish I had more viewers. So I'd say, hey, everybody, go to Dave's thing in 20 minutes. Check that out. Click on Dave Travel and Time. I don't know if you can post your link. I don't know how that works, but if you can post your link, feel free to post your link. I just don't have many people in my stream. Now, maybe people will watch this recorded. They probably won't listen to 37 minutes of it. But anyway, if they find your link, people might click on your link. So yeah, that's cool. And good luck with that. I will probably watch Brittany at 3 p.m. She always starts late. Usually she's 3 or 4 or 5 minutes late. Recently, in the last day or 2 or 3, it seems like she's overextending herself, and she'll probably be, 10, 20 minutes late. It was supposed to be at 11:30, and then 12, and then 12:50, and then 1 o'clock, and then she canceled it until 3. That's to go from 11:30. I need to still help you with the StreamYard link. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Would love to have you on. Well, thanks. I don't, golly. Well, thank you. As on a panel, I wouldn't mind going to a panel. Although I've emailed Brittany's, and I think I tweeted her, and she liked the tweet. So I think I'm about to be invited up to her panel. But yes, I would definitely like to do any and all panels. I just want to learn how that works. Like I have a different kind of voice, and people think, when I get called on the phone, people think I'm my wife. I don't have a wife. They think it's, hello, Mrs. Hart, is your husband there? And I'm like, boy, you just lost a sale, so, but anyway, how that would work on a panel and people talking over each other. And, it just seems fascinating. I have a higher voice too. Yeah. I mean, it's our voice, it's nothing we can, it's our voice. I guess you could probably, like, I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, and I had a little twang, and I worked on getting rid of that twang. So I assume I could probably try to work on having a deeper voice. But yeah, a lot of that's different. An accent is different than a voice. So yeah, I have a high, hello, Mrs. Hart. So especially if I get excited, I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I apologize, everybody. Ed Norton has a high voice like me too. Is he the actor? Didn't he do gangster movies, or Edward Scissorhands? Or I think I know the actor. He's like he's not the lead in a movie. Yep, the actor. He's not the lead in the movie, but he's like second or third rang, whatever it's called, rung of. So yeah, that's he did Fight Club. Holy shit, everybody's in that Fight Club. So okay, cool, thanks. But yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. And I mean, anyway, I do apologize for not talking about Idaho 4 much. There is not much new information. You can go to Reddit. Expect Reddit to be about 20 to 25% true at the most. Be discerning. There is unlimited information. If you want to, if you go, God, I know everything about this case. What else can I learn about this case if they're not going to release any news? And if you know everything about this case, you could go to Reddit and spend unlimited time and hear 2,000 other scenarios, almost literally. So it's just and I know Reddit's, I mean, people have to take Reddit with a grain of salt. You have to be discerning. You have to figure out which 20% is correct. Not all of it, not most of it, probably not even some of it, or I don't even know what the word would be. And I'm a numbers guy. I like to throw numbers around. So I would guess it would be, 20, 30 minutes. But so now I'll follow you, Dave. I hope I get a notification. Like I said, I'm probably going to Brittany, but I usually have more than one device, and I get distracted if I hear two things. I do a little better if one is in my ear listening and the other is in the background I'm listening. But sorry. Anyway, to get back to the StreamYard, I'm too cheap. I probably won't buy StreamYard. I think StreamYard is $20 a month minimum if you pay, and then you can do unlimited stuff. If you don't buy, I think it's $20 a month. It was a lot. But then you can buy for the entire year, and it was like $60. And I was like, $5 a month? Holy shit. Now, my problem, it could work in both ways. I would either forget to keep renewing the $60, or I would keep renewing the $60. So, I mean, it can work in both ways. If I'm using it and I forget, that sucks. Or if I'm not using it and I do renew it, that sucks. So, anyway, I did this stream today specifically because I was like, how much can I do with YouTube with nothing else? I don't want other poop. I don't want other stuff. Now, I love the panels and all that stuff. And, I don't know how to do panels on this. I've clicked on a couple links to see what's available, and I haven't found it yet, but I'm not very good at doing that, especially if I'm rushed. If I sit down and nothing else is distracting me and I try to learn, how do I do a panel from YouTube, then I could probably figure it out. But so anyway, $5 a month, if I used it consistently, is a good deal. $19 a month would never be a good deal for me, no matter what it did for me. Even if it cooked me dinner and, put me to bed. $19 a month would never be okay. And I'm also temperate. Like this is an off season for motorsports. Come the beginning of February, February 8th and February 20th, and I'm definitely ramping up again for motorsports, but probably even mid-January. So I really just have a couple months here, a month and a half or whatever. So I hope the Idaho is solved by then, and I hope Shanquella. That's the other case. I can't. Some of these streamers, they're doing streams about 5 different cases, and they try to separate cases, but no matter what case you're doing, people are talking about all the cases. And, some people try to be strict about that. And, but so they know about 5 cases, and I'm like, what the hell? The 2 cases are overwhelming to me, and I want to focus on that. You can't say one case is more important than the other. Kids may be more important and women may be more important. It's hard to say, but anyway, Jesus. So yeah, it's sad. it's sad that they apparently don't have any good leads. Now they say we've done, we have 103, and then I heard 110 evidence. Yes, it is that. Amen, Dave. That they have all this evidence, and they have 4,000 pictures, and they have 1,000 leads. No, I think they said they've no good leads. Yeah, I mean, I think they say we followed up on 1,000 leads. 1,000. I don't know what their population is. I think it's 10,000 people before the students, and 25,000 with the students. I mean, it's a real small town. So 1,000 leads in that is, but I mean, there's, Jesus. But anyway, they haven't offered a reward yet. And a lot of times rewards come from outside sources. The parents are rich and get upset, and are, the nonprofit foundation nearby, usually money, not usually, sometimes the money can come from outside sources. Now, again, I think it was Daily Mail. You got to take it with a grain of salt. But I think they said during an interview, one of the, CIO or whatever, chief information officer, the media contact for, I think, the Idaho State Police. He was asked about the reward, and he said, well, at this point in time, we have a good steady flow of tips and stuff. And he said, maybe if the tips drop off, we would offer a reward. Now, why there's no reward, there's two different schools of thought, or there's 1,000 schools of thought. But the one main one is they say, oh, they don't offer a reward because they have a lead and they have a suspect, and they're just building a case. BS. And then the other, which I would probably say, is if they offer a reward, they will get, I'm just guessing on the numbers, but I would say 80-90% of the leads will be frivolous because people want the money. So it will be, oh, I saw this guy down the road, and he was, and then you'll get a bunch of false, misleading, So I think that's why they don't offer a reward. But, a couple of there was a vigil yesterday, and a couple of the fathers were, visibly, I mean, they're all upset, but a couple of them were a little frustrated with the speed that things are happening. And it seems like some or most of these families have money, but again, it might be an outside source, So, but yeah, I mean, it's every single day, people are trying to interview the prosecutor and the police chief and, the FBI. They're trying to interview everybody. And so, and also I truly believe that law enforcement officers, I truly believe that they can lie to us. And I think it's okay for them to lie to us. It's not like, we asked you that question a week ago, you didn't tell us the truth. I think they can lie. I think that's okay for the integrity of the case. I think it's okay for them to do that. But it appears like most of these interviews are saying, nope, there is no suspect. There is no person of interest. There is nothing. And I'm like, wow, if that's the lie and you really do have them, golly, you ought to lie in the other direction. You ought to say, that we have some people where, I guess they can't say that either, because then they'll be bugged of, who is it? Tell us who it is. Why don't you arrest them, get them, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's tough, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be the cop, but I wouldn't mind being the media person there. I would, I think I said in this stream that, I went in 2020, I covered the elections, and I went to 31 states, and I was on the road. For 2020, I was on the road for 235 days. That is almost 8 months. I was on the road for 8 months, almost. Sleeping in the car, eating food stamps only. I didn't buy any hot food. No McDonald's hot food. All food stamps. All. That's all I eat anyway. I mean, there's sources. There's resources. There's Meals on Wheels and things like that. But I don't buy hot food at a restaurant. I don't buy hot food. Food stamps has to be cold food. Anyway, whatever. I'm not, that's so okay. I guess I'm going to head out here, Dave, and maybe do a little research on Brittany, find out if she's going to go online, maybe try to locate yours, and going live in 20 minutes for a Wheel of Fortune card game stream. Wheel of Fortune. That's Vanna White, right? And Jack Kasich, Pat Sajak. Is that Wheel of Fortune? I don't really watch those things anymore. I was watching The Price is Right. So when the new Price is Right came out, that was brand new to me, and that was probably 1971 or whatever. I don't know what it was. But yeah, the new Price is Right was hugely new to me. I was like, oh my goodness, what are they changing? So yeah, I don't really follow any of those things, but I'm aware of Vanna White and that she's attractive, and I think she's on Wheel of Fortune, and I think it's Pat Sajak. Anyway, someone. So cool. Well, that's cool. You're doing that. I'm sorry, I just can't say for sure which one I'm going to do. I'm sorry, but I'd love to be on a panel. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check my email because anyway, I you're supposed to email these creators, if you have any questions. So I emailed and then I tweeted and I said, hey, I sent you an email, and nothing happened for a day or two or three, no response. And then finally they liked my tweet. So I'm like, okay, at least they're aware they have an email. It's probably pretty long. So anyway, who knows that she's like, okay, yeah, you can be live. And I'll be like, oh, I'm so nervous. But I think I can give a different perspective to them. I think in life, I think generally I think out of the box. And I don't think I try to do that. I don't think I try to go, oh, I'm not going to think the way everybody else thinks. Let's think of other things. But again, Kaylee was thought of as the target. She could be, but everybody thought, yeah, Vanna White. Okay, cool. Yeah, she's attractive. And Pat, oh wow, I didn't expect to have his name. Pat Sajak. Did he get cancer? Did he die? I don't know. But anyway, so so everybody thinks Kaylee, and then everybody started thinking Jack D. And everybody thought he was guilty. I mean, people still talk about Jack D, and they still say he's still my first choice. And I'm like, God, leave the man alone. Drew Carey does Prices Right now, does he? I like him. Or I didn't watch his Cleveland sitcom much, but I did watch. There's 4 comedians that a scenario is described to them and they're supposed to respond funny. And I think that I've seen that recently, and there's a African-American woman who's the host, but Drew Carey was the host, I think, when it started or when it was most popular. So I watched that for like 4 years. Those four comedians are just hilarious. And Drew Carey was a great, host. He could, and occasionally, not Drew, not always, but occasionally they'd call him up. They're like, Drew, you got to answer this question too. So it was pretty funny. So I don't think I watched his sitcom very much. I don't know what it's called. Something with Cleveland, or he's from Cleveland, or I forget what it's called. In Cleveland? Isn't it called Cleveland? Something with Cleveland. I think. I could be wrong. So anyway, I'm going to check my emails, see if she's responded, if she's offering me to go on her panel today. And as you know, I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic. I'm in recovery, but I have an addictive personality, and I'm really addicted to Brittany's streams. And I got to get my daily fix. I'm not making a joke, and I have an addictive personality, no doubt. So, like I always say, I never did heroin, but I doubt if I would use it socially if I did it. You know, I'm an addict with everything, sugar and other things. I don't have to mention them all. But so okay, Dave, thank you very much. I appreciate all your help. Appreciate all your comments. I'll see how what's the scoop on, Britt could cancel it again. She does that a lot, or not a lot. No, not a lot, but occasionally she does. So I'll find out what happens. And whose line? Yeah, whose line is it? Or whose line? Yeah, it's funny. Oh, there are all four of them. And and I think over the years there was 6 comedians that took 4 places. So I don't know. Whenever I saw the show, I was like, oh, these are my 4 favorite. And then I'd see another show and I'd go, wait, I like that guy too. But they were all very different. One would have a dry sense of humor, and one would have a confrontational sense of humor, and one would have just all funny stuff. So I mean, that was a great. And with TikTok and stuff, I just saw a Who's Line with the African American woman. And I don't know if all TikToks. I know if the max I can do is 3 minutes. I can do 15 seconds, 1 minute, or 3 minutes, and that's max. So all 3 of them could be 10 seconds long. But I think the max I can do is 3 minutes. I don't know if that's true with other people. It appears some of these videos are longer than 3 minutes. But anyway, I just saw it, and it was the funniest thing. And I think I guess some of it's Cleveland one. Looked it up. It was called just the Drew Carey Show. Yeah, okay, yeah. And I think he really is from Cleveland. I don't know if the show was based in Cleveland, but I mean, if it's named after him, it probably had something to do with Cleveland. But thank you for looking that up. The Drew Carey Show. Isn't that wild? You definitely have made it if a show is named after your name. Golly, that would be. And I'm not trying to be. I don't want to be the JoeHart Show, but wow, if your name is in the show's name, that's pretty intense. So, okay. I keep saying goodbye. I apologize that I keep doing that. But Dave, again, thank you very much. Hopefully I'll get more and more well-versed with all this stuff. And I think that's it. So everybody, again, thank you for watching this live. Thank you for watching it recorded. I'm sure no one will get to 57 minutes and 42 seconds. But if you do, thank you for watching this recorded. I really appreciate it. I'm just trying to ramp up with some. I want to monetize. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. So I'm trying to figure out this streaming. I want to do live streaming versus recorded, but YouTube seems like the only choice. And but I'll figure it all out. So take care. Good luck with your stream, Dave. I'm sorry if I don't make it, but I'll like I said, I'll try to figure out B's situation and then try to make sure I get your notification. So I follow you, I think. So I think I'll get the notification. But okay, that's probably in 10 minutes now. So good luck. That sounds cool. Be prepared, or whatever. Do whatever you need to do during those things. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what to do before a live stream. Okay, everybody, let's all pray for the family, loved ones, and friends of the Idaho 4. And let's hope. I don't usually like to pray for justice, but let's hope that person is caught. Not enough justice can make that okay, but let's hope we catch that MFer. That's sad and pathetic. So, okay, we are rounding out on 1 hour, 59:18. So, okay, guys. Well, thank you very much. And I'm going to click end stream. So thank you very much. Talk to you later. We'll end immediately.